Hello you lovely people, welcome to my channel, welcome back to my channel if you've been here before. My name's Kirsten, this is Where I Art and Craft, and today I'm hoping that this is where I'm going to finish this project for Tracy Fox's creative design team. I'm using her Connections in Time kit, and I'm making, it's a kit that has lots of photographs in it, so I'm making this kind of photograph album. We've got most of it. Last time I did this front topper and did the back page. I've done all the pages. I've decided that I'm not going to cut out, I'm going to leave it square because it's not going to work cutting it out as far as I'm concerned. And I've just got to fit this last fly sheet, which is glassine. Originally I was going to do I will glue and talk. I think we could just do taking a bit more off this one actually. I don't want it quite that far over. Originally I was going to do tissue paper. I've got marbled tissue paper, black and white marbled tissue paper, and originally I was going to do that between the pages. However, I decided it was too thin, really. There was a risk of it getting ripped quite quickly or caught or things. So I'm using glassine paper instead, and you can just get this glassine paper from any kind of decent stationery shop actually sells it. And if you can't get it from a stationery shop, try a cook shop because they sell it as well. And I'm just putting that on there like that and let that sit for and set. I've already done all the others. Now the way I'm going to put this together is I'm going to use Chicago screws. Now these are metal pins that go through holes and then they screw together. The issue I have is these are not quite long enough. I should have thought about that when I was doing it. They're just kind of, now you can not screw them down totally, but I don't know whether they're not going to screw down totally and still be secure. So we're going to have to wait and see when we get to that point. If that doesn't work, I've got a slightly different option as well. But the first thing I want to do is I want to hold all the photograph pages together with this bit of cloth. So there's just an extra wee bit of binding. Right, that's too long at the moment. It needs to be shortened to that point there, which I thought was going to be a case. It was going to need to be slightly shorter. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick this on here. When that's set on there, I'll take it down and stick it on the back. The other, there's no, the pages themselves don't get stuck together. Pages are held together by this Chicago screw. Now let me just put some glue on this. You're not going to see this. This is going to be inside, so I'm not worried about putting plenty of glue on to make sure it stays stuck. This is about having it a nice finish on the spine. Okay, now that's cloth on cloth, so I might have been better, you say, using Fabri-Tac, but I don't want the extra width that Fabri-Tac will give, and that glitter glue will stick it down as well. Now you see that's, I mean, it's not untidy, it's just this will make it look even nicer. So the next thing I need to do is I need to start punching holes for my Chicago screws, and for that I'm going to start by, I was going to say I'm going to start by doing the top and the bottom together, but how much of a, well, it's that, no, see, they're not even going to fit in there together. So I'm going to start with the back one. And I'm going to do the back, punch it from the outside inside, because that will get the cleanest punch. I need to decide how much I want it in and set that so that they all come in the same amount of distance then, so they're all the same. And I also need to decide whereabouts along this length they're going to go. I think I want it 1 inch in from either side, either the top and the bottom. So let me just, I'm going to see if I mark it on the other side, then I can't punch on that side, can I? So what we're going to do is we're going to say that's roughly 1 inch. Now we need to make sure this is the same like this side, otherwise it will annoy me. Now this is the back, this is the front, so I want to measure it this way because this is the way it will be going together. So square it all up, get my white pencil, and that's where my holes need to be. And there we have holes going perfectly way through, and that's how I'm going to measure up all the holes. And here we go, it's finished. I made the holes, I put them on, and I managed to catch it on there, so I'm happy with that. That it's actually, the Chicago screw turned out to be long enough. You can see I took the cover. Looking at this now, I am wondering whether I should have taken this all the way to the edge just to kind of finish that off, and I am wondering whether maybe I'm going to put a block on the top just to hide that. What I mean by a block is just putting something to box off this bit. I've got a bit of that fabric left yet, so putting a bit of that fabric all seamed up on there like that, but I'm not convinced because I quite like seeing this bit. It's just, it's a shame I can see this bit here, but it's done now. I love doing this project. I mean, it was such a something very different, and I had no idea how it was going to turn out. That was the one thing I was going to do, is put some, I might still do that, put the corners on the back of the book as well. But let me give you a flip through. Now the thing with these kind of spines are, there is lots of movement, as you can see, but they don't tend to lie flat, so I'm opening it up on here so that you can see it. And if we look at the cover, we've got that. I do love this topazzy stone that ended up on there. And this is the story basically of Edward. And on the first page we've got Gladys outside the church where she played the organ, and Gladys is Edward's godmother, and each of them we've ended up with a journaling card, so more journaling can be done inside. and I didn't do the splits. And this is the Mayburns. Who are the Mayburns? Well, James Senior, James Junior, Samuel, and that's Beryl. And this is Molly's wedding. We don't know. It's the first time we've heard of Molly. So I'm presuming this is Molly's father. Just straighten that one up a bit. Then this is Geraldine's second birthday. So this must be Geraldine because she's more than 2. And this it must be Anne. And it's 1903 because I some managed to get a date for this one. And this is some of the embossing I did with Lost Shadow. And this is Happy Birthday. This is the 3rd birthday of the twins. A new doll and a new book. So this looks like this must be Geraldine's 3rd birthday. But who's her twin brother? Have you guessed yet? Twin brother's Edward. Now this is Edward and Violet's wedding in April 1926. This is a bit of Violet's veil, which we don't see in the picture, but it's a bit of Violet's veil. And who's in this one then? This is Edward. As always, at that globe, he ended up in the Americas. There's a bit of the Americas, and it's a wee flashback to him there. These 2 pages should really been on the other side, but or is it a case of this one? Oh, I've put these in the wrong place. These 2 bits should have been the other way around. No, well, anyway, slightly out of order there. This is Abby. So there's obviously another sister, Abby. And Abby was always sneaking into the library to read the bird book, and she ended up drawing birds in her own journal as she grew. So we've got Abby, we've got Edward, we've got Geraldine, and we've got Anne. And here we're jumping forward in time a bit. This is the sisters visiting Edward in America. So is this 2 of the 3 sisters, or is this another older aunts or something that they called the sisters? Is one of these Gladys? And it's Gladys and her sister visiting Edward. We've got this wee bit of thing. We've got a wee bit of lace. And this is Edward and Violet dancing back across the Atlantic on Deck C, Cabin 93 of the quadruple screw RMS Majestic. And this picture and this bit hasn't come from the kit. It was I had this, and this picture just kind of fit in with this. And so they're dancing back there. So it sounds like they've been across in America for 2 years. Beatrice is back again. And it's Beatrice and Samuel Mayburn. Oh, Samuel Mayburn. Down here. Travelling back from Italy, met Edward and Violet at Cherbourg. Because if you look here, this comes back via Cherbourg. And travelled back with them. Beatrice and Samuel's will they, won't they, continued all their lives. They never married each other or anyone else. Wow. Wonder what all that was about. And I've kind of decorated this with a bit of kind of art deco. Before and after Edward's trip to Brazil, he left an expectant father and returned to meet his daughter Florence. So we've got a bit of a camera going on down here. This is before he went. She's looking very quiet. Oh, I'm pregnant. Oh. And this is them back again. And we suddenly jumped to Molly. Molly with 2 unknown men. What a gal. And here's Molly's grandchildren, William and Maisie. Maybe Molly is the sister of Gladys, and they were the 2 sisters that went to America. But Molly, at her wedding, married, ended up with grandchildren. We don't hear who Molly's children were, but ended up with grandchildren, Willie and Maisie. William plain not found in the Battle of Britain. And who's this now? This is welcoming the next generation. We've got Mary. So this must be Mary in the pram. But who's this? Who's this? Is this one of these two grown up? Well, it can't be William's children because William died. So maybe this is Maisie's daughter, Mary. Grandma and Grandad, 50th wedding anniversary. Mary and Isabel reclaimed from fridge when cleaning house. Miss you both. This is like into the 80s, 70s here, isn't it, with these platform shoes on. And clearly, Grandma and Grandad, 50th wedding anniversary. This must be Violet and Edward. And they made it to 50. This was the golden, this was off their cake, celebrating their golden wedding anniversary. But when they died and they were clearing out the house, one of these two, Mary or Isabel, we'll say Mary because Mary's got the flags on the page before, collected this photograph off the fridge when she was clearing out the house after their death. And then these are unknown photos and a ticket. Who are these people? Looking back, who was this photo? Why was this photo kept? How was this moment remembered? What changed after this? Look, half a photograph here. So these are the cards that Tracy has. They come in a kit as well. There's a whole page of them. And I just picked a couple of them out for this page and this last page. A shared moment. Who is in this photograph? How do they know each other? Why was this moment worth capturing? So who are they? Are these further down? Are these Mary's children? Who's this? Is that Mary or is that Isabel and a child? And is that child grown up and meeting? And this, they look like they're decorating the house. Maybe this is the next generation getting married and this was them doing up the house. But why is this photograph in this being kept? And with no details as well. It's usually kept with no details when it's a relatively recent one, and if it isn't, the details aren't written down very quickly, then you get lost. So I hope you enjoyed this little project. I loved it. I really did. I like how this album's turned out. It was a lot of work, but I really enjoyed making it. And things like having the glassine pages just make it feel very much like an actual photograph album. So I'm delighted with it. I really am. And I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you might consider giving it a try. The details for the kit are down below. If you have any questions about it, please do ask. And I will see you soon for my next project, whatever that may be. But for now, you keep crafting. Thanks for watching. Bye.